So I came across a post on Threads the other day. It was recommended to me. Parent was really excited. Their 9-year-old scored 6 goals in a club game. I think it was their first club game. Probably it sounded like. Um, and my first thought was, okay, your kid scored 6 goals. There's no way this game was close, right? I replied, hey, what was the score of the game? Replied back to me, 15-0. And then the caveat to them was, oh, it was their first season, the other team that lost, playing together. And I've heard that over the years, man. And yes, does a team, having that chemistry and continuity, does that help them win and play better? Yes, for sure it does. But it's not everything. I could throw together a bunch of club players, right, with good coaching that never played together. And when I mean the club players, I mean high level players, because I know there are players that play in club teams that are not really good enough for club teams. I've seen them, right? They should be in a grassroots league, which there's nothing wrong with that. They need to develop more before they should be at the club level. That's a whole other thing about club teams and just really just taking people's money. That's a whole other video. Um, but yeah, the problem is this: is that would they probably beat a team that never played together? Possibly, right? Of higher level players, but the score would be closer, 10-7, 10-8, right? And that would be more reasonable. The problem with this is that these kids that won 15-0, well, number one, the parents who are paying, both teams actually, paying for this thousands of dollars a year are getting ripped off, right? Number one, let's just start with the team that won 15-0. Your kids, yeah, it's fun. We won. Great. But they're not developing well. They're developing, but not as well, right? And the reason is because they're not being challenged, right? And what these teams will do, a lot of club teams will do, not all. There's some good teams out there, some good leagues. I'm not going to just say all of them, right? What they do though is they'll put themselves in leagues where it's easy to win, right? Because what happens then is parents don't know any better and they hear, oh, such and such team wins. Oh, that's great. Yeah, sign your kids up. And then it brings in more money, right? Whereas if you're losing or more challenged, people aren't going to sign up, right? The problem with that though is that number one, whenever they face teams or players that are better or at the same level as them, they will mentally have a hard time, and they will, in turn, physically, they will not play well, right? They will crumble when they're challenged. You need to create mental toughness in players. And a part of that is by them being challenged by other teams. Is part of that is them losing. And I'm not saying losing 15-0. I think that's demoralizing, and that's the problem with that team losing 15-0 is those kids will be pushed away from wanting to play soccer at some point if that continues, right? So it's both sides. It's not good. And my